The Bergamasco is an ancient Italian herding dog breed found in the Italian Alps. These strong and ferocious dogs are bred to herd and protect sheep flocks, but are quite versatile. They can serve as watchdogs, bodyguards and companions. The latter is facilitated by exceptional devotion to the owner and obedience. Not suitable for city life. Highlights and interesting facts. Bergamasco is a native dog breed. These dogs were formed in the Italian Alps about 1,500 years ago. The ancestors of these dogs are Persian Molossions brought to this region with nomadic tribes. The Bergamasco shares common ancestry with the Maremmo Abruzzo sheepdog and the Commander. Despite the long period of existence of these dogs, active work on the breed began only in the 19th century. The selection was started mainly on working qualities. During the two world wars, the number of these dogs decreased significantly due to the extinction of the shepherd's work. The directed work on the formation of the breed was practically interrupted. After the Second World War, interest in the breed increased again. Active work on its restoration was carried out by a specially created group of cynologists under the leadership of Maria Andreoli. In our time, the breed remains quite rare and widespread mainly in Italy. Most dogs of this breed are bred exclusively as working dogs. The history of the breed. The origins of the Pastor Bergamasco are unknown. A genetic study in 2018 found evidence of haplotypes shared with other European breeds including the Berger Picard, the Bernese Mountain Dog and the Briard. A dog of this type was exhibited at the first Italian dog show in Milan in 1881. The first registration of the breed in the Libro Origini Italiano, the Italian National Stud Book, was in 1891. A breed association, now called the Associazione Amatori del Cane da Pastor Bergamasco, was established in 1949. The breed was recognized by the Ente Nazionale della Cinephilia Italiana in 1956 and was definitively accepted by the Federazione Cinologica Internazionale in the same year. In the 9 years from 2011 to 2019, annual registrations in Italy averaged 97 per year, with a maximum of 149 and a minimum of 48. For the first time, the standard for dogs of this breed was adopted in 1956. It was adopted by the American Kennel Club only in 2010. Appearance. Bergamasco have an average height. The ideal height of the male at the withers is 60 cm, the female is 56 cm, a deviation of 2 cm in both directions is permissible. Males weigh about 32 to 38 kg, females about 26 to 32 kg, although because of the wool they seem much heavier. The length of the dog's head is 2/5 of the height at the withers, and the length of the skull and muzzle must be the same. The nose of the Bergamasco should be black, the nose should be moist, and the jaws should be in a scissor bite. The eyes are brown, various shades are possible, but not blue. Ears are triangular in shape, hanging. The tail reaches the hocks, thick, tapering towards the end. The coat of the Bergamasco is long, heavy, forming large flat tangles, sometimes resembling commander cords. It completely covers the dog and even covers the eyes. It serves as an excellent protection both from bad weather and from the teeth of wolves. When attacking a herd, gray predators meet a rebuff in the form of a brave Bergamasco, and when trying to use their teeth, they cannot bite through the shell of the twisted cords of long wool. Bergamasco wool needs care. It needs to be washed several times a year, but washed carefully so as not to unravel the cords that give these dogs a special look and recognition. The color of dogs of this breed can be any shades of gray. White color is rejected and considered a defect. Dogs with white coat are not allowed for breeding. It needs to be washed several times a year, but washed carefully so as not to unravel the cords that give these dogs a special look and recognition. The color of dogs of this breed can be any shades of gray. White color is rejected and considered a defect. Dogs with white coat are not allowed for breeding. It needs to be washed several times a year, but washed carefully so as not to unravel the cords that give these dogs a special look and recognition. The color of dogs of this breed can be any shades of gray. White color is rejected and considered a defect. Dogs with white coat are not allowed for breeding. Distinctive character traits. The nature of Bergamasco is flexible and good-natured. This is an obedient dog, adapted to rather difficult living conditions, and very unpretentious in the choice of food. If you train a dog from an early puppy age, you can overcome its stubbornness and get an obedient and well-mannered pet as a result. Bergamasco are herding dogs. They are happy to work with the herd, they are not afraid of frost, rain or heat. These dogs have excellent hearing and sense of smell. Some flock owners claim that dogs know every sheep in the flock by smell and can always distinguish their own from strangers. Bergamasco can also guard objects. They were used as rescuers in fires and earthquakes. Maintenance and care. Bergamasco are demanding for a long walk, so they are easier to keep in a private house than in an apartment. When kept in a city apartment, these dogs need to be provided with a long full-fledged walking with active activities. At the initial stage of growing up, Bergamasco, like many large breeds of dogs, requires enhanced nutrition with a high content of vitamins and minerals. Bergamasco will require special care. The greatest amount of effort is required at the initial stage of a dog's life, when the peculiar felt strands that make up their coat are being formed. Finally, the coat in these dogs is formed by the age of 1.5 to 2 years after the first 2 molts have passed. To create a specific structure of wool during the molting period, layers of shed wool, without removing it from the growing hair, must be disassembled into separate strands in a special way and manually formed into the breed structure of wool. After the end of the formation of wool, the dog should be washed as little as possible. Washing is shown to them only when necessary if the dog turned out to be dirty, and regular washing in this breed is not welcome. The reason for this is that after washing, dogs with such hair are hard to dry completely. The modern AKC breed standard allows for the absence of traditional characteristic felted strands on wool. With this option, the dog must be carefully combed out twice a year during periods of molting. Otherwise, care is the same as for any wire-haired dog. Health. One of the health problems in these dogs is hip and elbow dysplasia, but in this breed there is no evidence that this disease is inherited and does not arise solely under the influence of external factors, such as improper feeding and insufficient walking. Price and how to buy. Depending on the purpose of the purchase, the cost of the puppy will differ. Offspring without the possibility of exhibition and further breeding costs from $900. If there are plans for future puppies as parents, then the price increases by 2 to 3 times. Show-class puppies are even more expensive, and the price depends on the pedigree and what prizes were received by the parents of the puppies at various exhibitions. If you are looking for a show-class puppy, then you need to contact the breeders registered in the Unified International Register of Breeders, where there is a guarantee of pure blood. In this case, a contract of sale must be signed, where all the circumstances are prescribed in order to avoid misunderstandings. Buying a puppy in unreliable places is a huge risk of getting a dog similar to Bergamasco Shepherd, but not being it. While the dog is small, it is difficult to understand how the puppy meets the requirements. Outcome. The Bergamasco, or Bergamasco, is an Italian herding dog breed. It is one of the oldest herding dog breeds in Europe. It is distinguished by a specific structure of wool, well suited for work in high-altitude climates. It is characterized by a long thick coat which covers every part of the dog. Particularly on the hind part of the body, the coat forms long matted locks which provide good protection from bad weather. On the fore part of the body the hair is coarse and forms wavy ringlets like those of a goat, while the hair on the head is rather finer. The coat may be of any shade of gray, from very pale to matte black. Some tinges of Isabella or fulvous color are allowable.